Hello there. Time to check out another Mr. Mopar sample. And I also wanted to talk about a couple of things. And I left my stuff all there, so I'm gonna get out of the camera for a second. Um, I really want to try the 1989 CCNP red mark. So yeah, that's what's happening. Let's boil that water there. Um, I have a few more samples from him, but we'll try this one. I'm gonna try to use that wheel of fortune there and figure out what are the smells, the aromas, and the tastes. A little bit more formal. First thing I'm gonna do is gonna smell the leaves. I'm gonna wait to see what is the way of this. I'm gonna smell the leaves. It's gonna just try to do it in a way that is. I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna weigh anything. In a way that is more standard. So smell the leaves and then taste the rinse, and then do like 3 steps. So it's gonna be a longer video, and especially because I'm gonna be using this these things right here. I talked about it the other day, the aroma wheel. Gonna see if I can put it on the side there. But let's just start by sorry. So we'll just start by warming up the cups, getting all of this where it should be. And this right here is a oolong. I was drinking Dong Ding from Far Leaves Tea. I'm gonna put the link in the description. It's one of my favorite vendors. So I walked in as a brick and mortar store. I used to go there and have tea and talk to the people there, and I also bought my first teas from them. Then later I made Blue Willow, and since then I'm being like a Blue Willow addict. This is a different cup. Let me get my Phoenix cup for that, and my Dragon cup for the red mark. And get that water out. I'm gonna get this a little bit more of a there you go. However much this is a lot. It looks very much like a heicha. It reminds me of how a liu bao will look like, kind of almost glued up. I'm gonna take this to the camera and look at it, and I think I'm gonna leave this nugget for later because there's a lot of tea. I'm gonna put that nugget in the bag and show how this tea looks like. Right there, my dirty ass nails on camera. Yeah. So a little dirty because I was playing with the chickens out there. I was having some good times. Having to fix their coop because the neighbors don't want them. We were free ranging the chickens, and now the neighbors are like, these chickens are like gonna have to stay on your side of the property. But the chickens, I had a conversation with the chickens, and the chickens were like, we don't understand your concept of property. So it is planet Earth. You don't own property. So your neighbor's land and your land is all the same to us. And then we disagreed, so I put um, chicken wire fenced, and then on top I put netting, and then now they're in a little Guantanamo, little Guantanamo Bay thing. So this doesn't smell like anything really to me right away, but with that little bit of moisture and heat from that cup, it doesn't smell like anything. Just making sure my cups are cleaned up. I think it's important to mention the water I'm using is reverse osmosis, and I put minerals back, magnesium, boron, and all of that. Just a trace mineral little thing I buy on Amazon, and I put enough minerals, trace minerals back in the water to make it around 100 parts per million of total dissolved solids. But when it comes out of the reverse osmosis, I'm cleaning it out of everything, so it's a blank canvas. And I think it's important to know that your tea is gonna taste like your water, So if your water doesn't, if your water has some sort of a taste of its own, you're gonna therefore feel that. Okay. So the dried smell of the leaves is kind of like a crushed, smoked pepper. It has a smoky thing and kind of like that woody element to it, but spicy. It can almost like that crushed pepper you put on your pizza, but the one that is smoked. And now we're gonna do the rinse, and the water for the rinse ain't gonna be that hot because I don't wanna overkill it. So we're just getting that out there. And this is how I grab my guy one. And this is the finger that I stick out. My index finger. Because I'm like, you right there, you sit down. You sit down. It's a commanding finger, you know what I mean? It's not a pinky. If you stick the pinky here in this T-bar, I'll snap it off. You'll see the picture of the person. I put a picture right there. The walls here make it easier for me to smell, Pretty much smells like a hecha. That reminiscent smokiness. It's earthy. Like we're still cold right now. It's 31, 30 Fahrenheit, but it is wet outside because it's melting. Things have melted. It's not all snow. And sometimes, when you are in an area that is kind of woody and there's a lot of mud and there's some mold between the leaves, and there is some moss and old wood that is decaying and all that, and then you can smell your neighbor's wood stove, little smokes coming, that mixed in the that kind of smell, like maybe we'll say early spring in New Hampshire. Oh, nice. I keep thinking these teas are kind of like wow, but it is a different way of getting to Rome, right? So not with fermentation so much. I could bet that this tea was um, sun dried or something, lead withered. So it withered to a point where those more sweet enzymes, are released when the leaves, think that they're going through a drought or whatever. Full mouth now. Because it's the rinse, I expect it to be a little bit more of that smokiness. It doesn't have the any kind of astringency whatsoever. It has a sweet earthiness to it, not at all like a Sheng Puerh, like a deep Sheng Puerh, or like even a Liu Bao, deep Liu Bao. What called deep is like a danky ass, super extra fermented, it's super dark danky stuff. By the way, if you want some sweet danky stuff, try Ancient Mellow from Blue Willow. Good stuff. We keep buying those cakes, man. We bought. Oh, look at that! I almost mixed up my thing. This is for later. Um, we bought like 15 cakes, and then we've gone through half of it, and we're like, we should buy more because we saw that some of the teas that we like, this Blue Willow, are sold out, and so we don't want to get sold out on that one. We definitely want to keep it. Yeah, he's got that show, kind of. It's that spicy, little bit of what could be considered not minty, but like camphor or something like that. Um, Very subtle on that scent. It's earthy, but not like not like a show. It's more woody, more like you would smell if you had been using the smoker. Like the walls of the smoke. When you open your smoker, it's like this still there, but it's kind of like charcoal, smoky, not that lapsang, Shaoxiang smoky or any of that. Just kind of like a charcoal smoky. Yeah, it's like charcoal. Damn, I forgot to turn on this thing. So now I'm obligated to drink this other thing. And this is probably the fourth steep from. Oh, I have my. I thought I had a. Try with this so I can show you. I'll say no, maybe the sixth steep. We were drinking that in the morning. Dongding from Far Leaves Tea. This one right here. I'll show you how this expands. It's crazy. So, oops. They look like little bunny rabbit poops. And there you go. Little bunny rabbit poops right there. Kind of like difficult to see, but yeah, there you go. You see them. And then I probably put like a teaspoon of that, teaspoon and a half. Look at that. Big old leaves right here. You can see them. They come with the whole stem and everything. They fill up your guy one crazy. Look at that. How full is the guy one? Nasty, but in a good way. There is nasty in a good way. Doesn't have to be nasty in a bad way always. Okay. So we are gonna be focusing on the CNNP red mark, 1989, of course. But I forgot to start boiling the water. So in the meantime, this is why I use this kettle. It's from Temu. It's because I can put a little bit of water. That's like a half an inch or something, and It's flat like this, so there's a lot of surface for the water to rest on, right on top of the infrared, which is what I like, kind of like charcoal or fire, um, heating it up directly. So it doesn't take that much for that to boil. And okay, a little sidetrack on far leaves tea, Donding Oolong. It can be astringent if you oversteep it. You can definitely use uh, boiling water. I don't know if that's what they say here. They say I never follow instructions with tea. 190 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's a good safe thing. So boil your water and then let it calm down and let it rest and stuff. For the most part, people use this gooseneck kettles with temperature control. I have one right there, but I don't use it because I actually started to like listening to the water and looking at it and looking at the bubbles, and this is the shrimp eye and crab eye and fish eye and dragon eye and all those like sizes of bubbles there and what's going on, and it's like tickling and I can feel it on my table, and it's part of the game, something more that it becomes intuitive. And the more intuitive things are, the more that you can like adapt to who you are at that day and how you're feeling and what you ate and what's going on and what do you want to drink and how you're gonna like. But if you're like too structured, you know the dynamics of life can be a little bit weird, and that they're not gonna always fit. So when you have people over, you can't really read them and just throw them the best tea you can. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know. I think I like recurve bowls and throwing rocks and stuff like that, um, because of that intuitive. You see, there you go, that intuitive stuff. So we're gonna heat it right now with boiling water, but it was, I would say, fish eye bubbles, not dragon eye. Making this tea dance around. Should have another camera here so you can see how I make it go in a spinning little dance in there. Well, I'll let it like actually, let's just have this one be danky. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's and so for example, for this one, if I was gonna put water on that one, I would just let it rest. You see now it's not like bubbling up, blah, 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 just right after bubbling and being all crazy. Let it rest a couple of seconds there, and then I put it on my oolong that is a little bit more sensitive, because this donding from far leaf tea is not really um, not really very oxidized. So now I could be inhaling this magical sweet thing. It's like healing up my lungs from the inside, man. It's pure goodness. Mr. Mopar, you always sourcing the best stuff, man. Like, I don't know. It's difficult to go to anyone else after you get to meet Mr. Mopar. I'm gonna leave it with the lid on so its own heat and vapor keep extracting, for the next one. Directly from the liquor, they get the same notes, but not as awesome as smelling the leaves. I think that smelling the leaves and like inhaling that vapor is part of drinking this like dank teas. It's good for you. I can feel how like my nostrils and everything just enjoys it so much. Like, how is it not? Ooh, did it drop a couple of dollars right there? I don't know. Look at that clear jewel. Whoa, nice, right? And to be compared to an oolong, Dongding oolong sixth steep. Now that I have my first actual super duper infusion, I could put this here away. I can take my notebook here, maybe write down some stuff. Well, this earthy, and the earthy part is a forest and wood division. And the forest, floor, musty, humus, moss, care, compost, wet leaves. So definitely wet leaves, musty, humus, like forest floor. Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff that I'm picking up there. And then on the wood side, I get pine, redwood, sawdust, cedar, oak, mahogany, and eucalypt. And I will say that maybe oaky. Oak, but how oak smells, not the sawdust, you know? I am a finished carpenter. I know what I'm talking about, bro. Like, that is deadly to me. If I smell that, I have to put my mask on because I know that my nose gonna be running. So oak, cedar, redwood are terrible for someone. It gives me allergies. Go figure. So I would say more on the oak, mahogany kind of smelling the wood, not the sawdust. And sawdust would be kind of like from sanding. You know what I mean? In plants and herbaceous, there's grass, vegetables, and herbs. I don't pick up any of this stuff. Fresh cut grass, bamboo, maybe bamboo. So maybe I should just write down here, what I'm picking up. I said that I is earthy, forest floor, and what else was it? Musty, hummus. Hummus is not the one you eat. It's kind of like compost. That's what really means. Wet leaves, and then in the plant side, I found bamboo for sure, like dried up bamboo, like dry bamboo, not fresh bamboo. Like dry bamboo. Pine, what was bamboo, spinach, pea, alfalfa, green beans, earth, basil, parsley, mint, lavender, sage, thyme, fennel, floral, none of that. Nutty and milky, creamy, fresh butter, almond, chestnut. Hmm. I don't find it. I don't find it nutty. But chestnut, light chestnut, then roasted nuts. Yeah. So boiled. I'll tell you what. We used to boil chestnuts. Okay, so sweet, malt, honey, caramel syrup, toffee, brown sugar, vanilla. There's some sweetness to it. Toffee. Sweet as toffee. And then fire animal will be stable toast, smoked tobacco leather. The other day I was drinking a tea that really gave me that really nice smell of like being around herbivores, kind of like a stable of cows or whatever. Not like the dung when it's like composting, it smells like methane. No, the actual fresh kind of like field. This one doesn't strike me like that at all. Should be boiling some water right now. It may have a little bit of that stable thing, but so in fire animal, I got light smoke and stable. Spicy aroma. Well, you know, the spicy aroma, cinnamon, nutmeg, maybe nutmeg a little bit, but slight, you know, slight membranes nutmeg. Clove, caramel, licorice, tarragon, ginger, no, pineapple, banana, melon, grape, apple, muscatel, nothing, citrus, nothing, berry, nothing, marine, seaweed, fish, oyster, shrimp, sea salt. I don't think so. No. And then we're into mineral, volcanic, chalk, granite. Well, I would say there is some mineral stuff in there. For sure. Yeah. Like, you know, like one of those like hard water springs, you know, like rocky spring minerality. All right, that sounds good. I use this wheel at the end, you know, to be able to put that in practice. So earthy, forest floor, musty, compost, wet leaves, bamboo, dry. So light, earthy, bamboo, dry bamboo, light chestnut, boiled chestnut, sweet as light sweet, stuffy. Fire and animal would be light smoke and stable, and slight membranes of nutmeg. Rocky spring minerality. That sounds pretty pro right there, man. So this is 1989 CNNP red mark. Okay, so this is just going through the process with me because I don't know anything. I don't know what I'm doing, and I really want to learn this stuff. I really like it. This is what you're seeing. You're seeing someone who doesn't know what the hell is doing. I'm trying to have some sort of a system here. All right, so we're going to go for the second step. As soon as that boils, and let's bring that creative side where like we imagine something. There is none of that leathery stuff, old book things that I've tasted in other teas, but I would say that I can taste very similar soup in like the fifth or sixth step of a very dark Sheng Puerh. The other day I drank a Blue Willow dark puer. It's called Dark River Sheng Puerh. And I would say that after the fifth step or something, it got really similar to this. Now, there is a body feel to this that is different, right? I don't know if it's what people call chi or whatever, but it feels really good. Like I'm breathing in and out this really embracing thing of tea, you know? And I feel very chill and sharp at the same time, you know? So you see how quick it went. Now we have, what are those? Crab eye, get to fish eye. So the thing is that the bubble being the size of shrimp, crab, uh, fish, and dragon. I think I got this from what's that YouTube channel's name? Global Tea Hut. It's a little out there. I know it's a little bit like too much of um, spiritual thing, going on there compared to how I drink tea. And there's nothing wrong with that. The way they're doing it, that's their trip and how they enjoy stuff. It's just that I'm not like that. Okay, we got some big fish eyes there. Ooh. I'm gonna hit it with really hot water. This is boiling directly from it, and we're gonna make a little bit longer steep extraction. And I mention every time that I am not an expert on anything, man. Don't you think that I'm trying to like be an authority or anything. At least for now, not. Maybe at some point I would be good enough to be giving advice and stuff. But for now, this is my process of learning about Sheng. I had no idea like a month ago, right? Never wanted to try it until I thought that I was good enough at steeping that I could step into that, you know. And I asked for help. I went to Reddit forum and I was like, hey, I wanna learn more about Sheng. What should I do? Who should I buy samplers from to like get acquaintance with and Sheng? And they told me a few vendors and someone shared Mr. Mopar's invitation to their thing. And since then, I've been drinking some good tea, man. Like I thought I was drinking good tea, but that's good stuff. And yeah, you know, like I can totally see how people are just drinking Sheng. It's a thing. Feels really good. Feels really good. And if you think about it, it's not that expensive. If you buy a cake that is $100, but it's 357 grams, that's like 30 cents a gram. It's not expensive, you know. And to tell you the truth, like what I see, like if you want to drink something good, if you don't want your face to shrink into the middle and disappear because you're like, "Ugh," um, then think on spending around $100, $150 on a good tea, and you keep it so many times that it's like I don't know. So this is a 1989, right? So how's that? From 1990s to now is 35 years. So this is 36-year tea. Well, I like it hard like this. It's a little bit more astringent, kind of like when black tea is astringent. It's a very respectable bitterness that is so like nice in the back of the roof of my mouth. Every like gulp sips that are more not like a little sip but like a gulp. Feel them going down my throat like I don't know. It just feels good. It's definitely from the perspective of yin and yang is a yang tea, but there is a very mellow part of it, very like embracing part of it. It can be very very comforting, to drink this. I think I'm gonna get this tea, and this is gonna be the tea that I'm gonna drink when I'm on a rough patch in my life. You know, when I need to remember that it's good to be alive because you can drink tea. After drinking hot like that, the sensation in my mouth and my throat and my lungs is very nice. It's very good. It's very good. I mean, I have a cake of 2007 high one all three distant mountain, and I love it. It has its own thing going on. It's also like this one, dark, and but I like this one better. Um, Today, would I buy this cake? For sure, I would. Yeah. Am I over budget in my tea budget? Definitely am. But shit is nice. I don't know if I'm gonna have 1989 like red marks so much, but it definitely does differentiates itself from a hate chow. Pretty good. Yeah, I drink organic Sheng Puerh every day, like 32 ounces of it. And although the similar taste is there, the way it feels afterward, that presence of the tea after you drink it, like right now, you know how I'm like, you know, of like the heat of it, how my mouth feels, and it's kind of like how I'm experiencing life through this tea, right? So I'm experiencing life, and I have the flavor of this tea in my mouth and my throat and my nose and my lungs. It's not the same as a shop war. It has a different feel, you know. Shop war has a different. It's a different thing, you know. And I can drink shop war while I'm like banging on wood and like nailing stuff and cutting things and then leave it there and come back to it and all that. But this one inside, you gotta sit down and enjoy. It's very nice. Um, I'm very impressed with the way it feels in general afterwards. That's that's uh that's cool, and like I completely forgot about the water. So I don't think I need to go for a thirst tip to open any new flavors or anything. I want to remind everyone that if the links in the description don't work, like someone in the last video made me realize, it's probably because they expired, you know. So if you don't see if it doesn't work for you, just ask me for it. Ask me for the invitation, and I'll post it as a response to your comment. Just comment there. Be like, hey, you don't work, and I'll be like, all right, here you go. Man, this thing is good. There is something to say about that time that happens after you're drinking tea, not like while you're drinking tea, but after. It's pretty good. Um, I don't look at the camera the whole time because it's weird, man. I'm looking at my phone from the back. So I like looking at my safe right there and my dog, like talking to my dog or something. So it feels a little bit more natural than looking at the thing. So that's why I'm not doing it all the time. And in the next episode, I may open up my last bit of Yunnan gold or silver needle from far leaves tea, which I haven't done many mentions of them. They're pretty good. Yeah, I actually was impressed with the teas and with the prices and everything. So that's another vendor that is not very known out there that you should know about. Small little tea house in the Bay Area, California. And the good thing about those two tea houses, Blue Willow and Far Leaves Tea, that at least when I was there was no agenda of trying to push you into anything like political or anything. Sometimes you go to a store there and there's all kinds of stuff out there, and it's like in your face, you know. People are very fanatic there about that stuff. But these stores are just a place where you can go and drink tea and maybe disconnect from all the social pressure and stuff. You just go and they like, this tea is awesome. Here it is, you know. Like, do you like it? And they're like, oh, it's awesome, you know. And that's it, man. You know, it's really good to have a place where you can take a break from that crap. So that was Blue Willow and Far Leaf Tea for me. I don't know now. It's been like 2 years, but at that point, I doubt that they have changed any. And here's coming the last one, the last tip. And I gotta get better at that, right? So I'm not focused because I'm talking to the camera. But the idea is that I pour and then I put water in it, put it back on, and that's enough time for me to steep, to do like flash steeps, right? And so that's why I chose this kettle that has more of a wide base, and that my water is half an inch only from the heat source, you know. And we can talk about other things that I have here another time, but I think it's been long enough. So I hope you have a great week and subscribe and like and all that kind of crap. Yeah. All right.